Hey squad, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about 5 things that I wish I had known when I started collecting omnibuses. So stick around, let's talk comics. Hey squad, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Starbuck, aka the Prince of Dorkness, and I want to give a big shout out to my subscribers today, especially Soul Rebel and Daka Lecter. I appreciate all your comments. Thank you so much, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, tap that bell for notifications, and make sure to comment below. Every comment you put in is going to put your name into the drawing for an Epic collection when I hit 50 subscribers, which we're getting awfully close to. So make sure you comment. I want to interact with you guys. Thank you so much. But let's move on without further ado. Today, what I wanted to talk to you about was my 5 rules of collecting omnibuses. Now, these are my 5 rules. You can do this however you want. That's the fantastic thing about a hobby, is it's unique to yourself. That being said, I've been doing this for about 6 years. I know some that have done it even longer, and I've learned a few things. So if you're new to the hobby, if you're just starting out, if you bought a few Omnis and you want to keep going and any of these things are helpful to you, I'm happy to help. So let's start out with rule number 5. Make sure that you're familiar with the material in the book before you buy it. Just because you like the X-Men does not mean you're going to like every X-Men run. Just because you're a fan of Garth Ennis does not mean that his Punisher is going to be your favorite. So there are lots of options, specifically digital options. You can go to Marvel Unlimited, DC Universe. Both of these apps are like less than $10 a month, allow you to read huge amounts of the back catalog of both of the big publishers. Gives you a really great opportunity to be able to get familiar with the material before you buy it. At least read a few issues. Make sure you like it. That brings us to rule number 4. Don't overspend. Most of us that have been collecting for a long time know that if you pre-order these books or purchase them right after release, you're going to get the deepest discount that you can on the books. We're talking 40 to 60% off the cover price, which can sometimes run as much as $150 per book. So 40% off is nothing to scoff at. Definitely pay attention to the distribution. Find out when the books are coming out. Pre-order them if you can, and if you can't, try to be swift about purchasing them after release. That way you can guarantee yourself a copy of the books that you want the most. Rule number 3. Research what you like. Find the artists and the writers that you really enjoy to read, the series that you enjoy. Do a little bit of research first, because most of us are guilty of having bought Omnis or other collected editions where we're like, it's cool, but it's not really something I'm going to read again. So research what you like. Try to think about it more as a curated collection rather than just a collection. Which brings us to rule number 2. Consider your space. I'm very fortunate to have a significant other that has no problem with me using a spare room as my museum, if you will. But a lot of us don't have that luxury. Maybe you can fit 2-3 calyxes in your room. Maybe, you've got walls and walls of space. But the thing about this hobby is these books are big and you'll fill it. So with that in mind, again, I bring the rule back to curation versus collection. You'll see on a lot of the channels, I know Omar's done it, I know Jem's done it, and I know I'm guilty of it as well, where we purge parts of our collection because either A, we don't think we're going to read them again, or we don't want to keep collecting them because the real estate on our shelves is more valuable than our love for that particular storyline or book. So again, think of your space, think curation versus collection. I think it'll make you a happier collector in the long run. And Speaking of the long run, our number one rule that I wish that I had known when I started 6 years ago, and that is these books will probably be printed again. If you're waiting for that Wolverine Volume 1 to be reprinted again, just know I already waited 7 years before the reprint finally came out. And now that the reprint is sold out, chances are it'll be reprinted again, probably much sooner than the space of time between the last two printings, because y'all bought it really fast. So definitely consider the fact that there's not a lot of point in going and spending $300 on eBay for an Uncanny X-Men Volume 2 omnibus, when really these things, for the most part, are reprinted regularly. Now, there are some books that, because of licensing issues, I understand they may not be reprinted. I'm pretty stoked that I've still got like my John Carter. I don't know if those will be reprinted, that kind of thing. But for the most part, if it's a Marvel property, they're going to reprint it. It just might take some time. So be patient. After all, we're collectors, not buyers. So thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, make sure to comment below. Again, remember, every comment below for all of my videos is going to enter you to win one of my epic collections come 50 subscribers, which we're getting awfully close to. So thank you so much. And remember, when all else fails, take a nap.